Welcome! This video will give you an overview of how to build an application. We'll introduce key features of the PaintGoer platform by building a simple application to manage contacts. Subsequent training videos will refer to this contact management application, focusing on powerful platform functionality in greater depth to enhance and progress our first cloud application. To start, we simply access the PaintGoer Builder and select the database where the application will be created. We need to create a new client and fill in the relevant details, and then create a new application for our new client. We enter a title for the application, in this case, Contact Manager. The next step is to create the data model for the Contact Manager. There are two fundamental ideas behind the data model. Those are comprised of types and the relationships between types. A key data component, such as a person, is represented as a type, and a type defines all of the elements within that record or object. We'll now start to create a type. We enter the title person and select an icon. The person type can contain many data elements or fields. To improve the performance and usability of the application, we can divide the person type into sections. As an example, the first section could be basic details. The second detail could be home contact information. On the basic details section, we can add a number of elements or fields. We can add a title, which could be a selectable field. You'll notice there are a number of display options to choose from. We'll display this one as a drop-down for our users. Having created the field, we need to specify which options can be selected from the drop-down. For example, Mr, Mrs, Dr. And we can also sort these alphabetically. We have the option to add a number of other important fields, such as first name and surname, which are text fields. These can be set as essential, meaning these fields must be filled in. Again, here we can specify how these particular text fields are rendered on the screen. In this case, we'll choose a single line of text that fills 50% of the screen width. Another option we have here is default focus, which refers to the cursor. When we first open this object on the screen, the cursor will be placed within that field. In addition to selectable and text fields, we can also add dates. Here we could add date of birth, and this would be a date-time field. And we can also select how we want that displayed to our users. We'll go for a simple date-time presentation. We could also add other elements, such as email. And we can select the option for users to click that email address as a link. If we wanted to add a salary field to the application, this would be a number. We can also add currency to the field by adding a £sign into the symbol string, and text, for example per annum, as well as specifying a decimal place. Another element we could add to the Contact Manager solution is a reference number, and we'd like the system to auto-generate that value and for it to be sequential. The first record we create should be a number, the second record should be number 2, etc. We can also put a leading string in front of that number. Finally, we may want to add a document for that person, perhaps a CV, and that would be an attachment field. We will use a standard rendering option for this. Having added this field, we can choose the position of where they'll be displayed by selecting the element and moving them up or down using the buttons on the screen. Let's now go back to the second section, Home Contact Information, and create some elements for this particular section, such as address, which will require multiple lines. It can be 5 lines long and can occupy 50% of the screen. We can also add home phone. So far, we have created an object, or type, which defines the characteristics of a person object. Part 2 will look at both the logic and interface layers of the builder, and how these functions can enhance our Contact Manager application. Thank you for listening.